NASA says its Voyager 1 probe, the most distant human-made object in the universe. Drifting silently through the darkness of interstellar space, NASA's ancient Voyager 1 spacecraft has detected something that shouldn't exist. Even more chilling, Voyager itself is changing, reconfiguring its systems in ways engineers never programmed. Did our oldest space traveler just discover alien technology? Or has it become part of something bigger than humanity ever imagined? The lonely pioneer. In the vast emptiness of space, there's a tiny machine still talking to us after nearly 5 decades. Voyager 1, launched back in 1977 when bell-bottoms were cool and Star Wars first hit theaters, has become something truly remarkable. It's the first human-made object to reach interstellar space, the region between stars, where our sun's influence fades away. This little spacecraft, no bigger than a small car, has traveled over 15 billion miles from Earth. That's so far that radio signals moving at the speed of light take about 22 hours to reach it. When engineers send a command, they wait almost 2 full days for a response. It's like having a conversation with someone who takes a day to answer every question. What makes this even more incredible is that Voyager 1 wasn't built to last this long. The engineers who designed it never imagined it would still be working today, drifting through the darkness beyond our solar system. Its nuclear power source running on plutonium was expected to keep it alive until maybe the early 2000s. Yet here we are and Voyager is still whispering back to us across the stars. The spacecraft carries instruments that seem ancient by today's standards. Magnetometers that measure magnetic fields, cosmic ray detectors, plasma wave sensors, all designed with 1970s technology. These old tools were meant to study the planets in our solar system. But they've become something else entirely, our first ears and eyes in interstellar space. Voyager also carries the famous Golden Record, a time capsule of Earth sounds, music, and greetings in dozens of languages. It was meant as a message to any intelligence that might find it someday, thousands or millions of years from now. Little did we know that this record, this hello from humanity, might have already attracted attention much sooner than anyone expected. The first signal. The strange story begins with what scientists initially thought was just a blip in the data. In the endless stream of information coming back from Voyager, there was a tiny anomaly, a flicker that seemed like nothing. Space is full of dust and radiation, and occasional weird readings are normal. At first, the team at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory dismissed it as background noise. Dr. Eliza Kana, one of the mission specialists who first noticed the anomaly, described it as like shouting into a canyon for decades, and finally something shouts back. The reading was faint, just a slight reflection of light picked up by Voyager's sensors. In the beginning, it seemed so minor that it wasn't worth investigating further, but then something changed. This wasn't just a particle floating randomly through space. The object moved in a way that caught everyone's attention. It curved. It accelerated. It didn't tumble chaotically like a rock or piece of debris would. Instead, it glided smoothly, as if under control. When the plasma sensors on board Voyager registered a shift that seemed deliberate and focused, the team realized this wasn't background noise after all. Systems analyst Carlo Romero observed that the object's movement was unlike anything natural, describing it as the kind of deliberate motion one might expect from a drone rather than a rock, suggesting it had intention. That observation changed everything because in the physics of space, things don't just move with purpose unless something is making them move that way. As Voyager transmitted this data back to Earth, the scientists found themselves facing a question they never expected to ask. What is it that moves like a machine, but isn't one of ours? The empty void between stars suddenly seemed less empty, and that realization sent ripples through NASA that would soon grow into waves. Unnatural movement. When something unusual appears in space, scientists have a standard playbook. They check all the familiar possibilities. Is it a small moon, a distant comet, a new asteroid? One by one, the team worked through these options and one by one, each possibility fell away. This object wasn't a planet far too small, not a comet either. There was no tail, no ice trail, no heat signature. It didn't glow like a star. And gravitational lensing couldn't explain what they were seeing. Even space dust was ruled out because dust doesn't suddenly change direction mid-flight. Dr. Lucas Hang at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory ran simulation after simulation trying to match the object's behavior to known models. What makes space objects usually so predictable is physics. Everything moves according to known patterns and forces. But this object broke those rules. Its path bent in ways that didn't match any known orbital behavior, with no drift or decay that would be expected from natural objects. The team was forced to admit something difficult. What they were seeing wasn't just unknown. It was unnatural. The movement pattern suggested intelligence, or at least design. And that possibility was both exciting and deeply unsettling. If this wasn't a natural phenomenon, then what exactly had Voyager encountered in the darkness between the stars? As the analysis continued, the behavior became even stranger. The object seemed to be moving with purpose on a specific trajectory that couldn't be explained by gravity, solar wind, or any of the other forces that typically influence objects in space. It was as if something or someone was guiding it, adjusting its course with precision. And that's when a second piece of evidence arrived that would transform this curious anomaly into something much more significant. Confirmation beyond doubt. Just as the scientists were trying to make sense of what Voyager 1 had detected, something unexpected happened. Voyager 2, the twin spacecraft following a completely different path millions of miles away, detected something eerily similar. The same kind of magnetic fluctuation, the same kind of pulse, a matching signal signature that changed everything. This was the turning point in the investigation. Two different probes, two separate instruments, picking up nearly identical phenomena, ruled out the possibility of an internal error. It wasn't a software glitch or a sensor malfunction on Voyager 1. Whatever this was, it was real and happening in multiple directions of space. ESA analyst M.K. Fontaine compared it to two lighthouses, both catching a flash of something passing between them. This cross-confirmation gave the anomaly weight and credibility. It wasn't noise. It wasn't Voyager acting up. It was a real coordinated phenomenon happening out there in the space between stars. The team now had evidence that couldn't be dismissed. Something was moving through the region of space where both Voyagers were traveling, and it was doing so in a way that defied conventional explanation. With this confirmation, NASA quietly triggered what's known as a Level 3 alert, a designation used only for phenomena that don't fit within our current scientific understanding. The event was real, the math was consistent, the movement appeared deliberate, and nobody knew what to make of it. As more data streamed in from both spacecraft, the picture became clearer, but also more mysterious. What had started as a single blip on Voyager 1 sensors was revealing itself to be something far more complex and organized than anyone had imagined.